take a look at another sport, a sport that's called football in most of the world and soccer in the United States. This is comparing what many people believe was the greatest player of all time, Pelé, and Messi, who is currently playing, comparing the first 8 years of their career. Now, there's an element of false comparison in this because they both didn't play at the same time. But still, we're looking at goals per game, because goals per season, if you don't play as many games or you play in more, and Pelé played in more games than Messi did, so it would make the average of goals overall difficult to do a comparison. So as we look at it, are we looking at variation that's predictable, routine, where there's no one thing to blame, like in Pelé's visualization? Doesn't that just look like waves, just simple waves? It's a random pattern. It's the classic wave pattern of a random variation, which if you can compare that with the way out of the ordinary variation, special variation works, it stands out visually. It has a form. It's a signal. It can't just be explained by random patterns. And you can see that looking at Messi. It's just obvious looking at it that something's going on here. There appears something that's out of the ordinary, something that is strong enough to cause a pattern like this. So if you look at them together, and we're using this to compare the relative output and goals of the two of them in their first 8 years, as we look at this, just on the face of what we're looking at, not having any other information available to us, and we're comparing who is the better goal maker of these two players, it would say that it would appear that Messi was not as good a goal maker as Pelé, that Pelé had more goals in the first 6 years, and only towards the end he started doing better. But that's not really the story even with these two people, because there appears to be out of the ordinary variation in the line of Messi. It's not following a random pattern. And what that means, and if you know the context of the game, you know the history of the game, then you would know that Messi was injured the year before he went into the professional leagues, and when he left the juniors, and had a very serious injury, and they brought him along very slowly, and he played only short minutes of a game, so he didn't have nearly as many opportunities until about the fourth year when he started playing more, and as you could see, he started increasing rapidly during that time period. And if you look into the future, if you could see that the next year and beyond, you'd see that he went on to even increase the number of goals. So the point is, looking at this information, is there anything actionable that we can get from this, and not the way it is now? Because we don't know if Messi will continue based on this with the same behavior, because there's a special out-of-the-ordinary variation taking place. We can say that we pretty much know that Pelé will fit within that wave-like pattern, but we can't with Messi. So within those 8 years, we know that Pelé made more goals, but the point is, what can it do to help us predict what's going to happen so it can be useful? Why else look at it?